Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rokah Kudash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations and much love to the rest of you sincere Akim, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Izar coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing in my lot to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, this factory of perverseness, another observation of predictive programming and how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movie scenes to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use snippets as an example to bring out similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson Esau is a Mad Hatter, Part 2. The image I have on display is from animated series, Salakia, I watched a long time ago. Of course, being in the truth, I reflected on this particular episode. This episode was released on October 19th, 1992. The title of it is Perchance to Dream, directed by Boyd Kirkland and Lauren Bright. Once again, this is from the Batman animated series. This episode is based on a villain from Batman's Rogue Gallery once again, the Mad Hatter. Okay. Once again, if you haven't seen part 1, let me tell you again, this Mad Hatter is a shy and kind Jervis Tetch. That's his real name. He's a technical and electronic genius who experiments with animals using mind-controlling microchips stored within hats to stimulate brain waves. Jervis Tetch is a scientist who works at Wayne Enterprises on a project on using microchips to increase the brain's potential. And he's developed a technology that allows him to control the minds and bodies of any animal or person he wants by using microchips attached to his brain and to the other person. And he frequently uses this technological mind control device to commit his crimes. In this particular episode, Batman, the Caped Crusader, the world's greatest detective, is knocked unconscious while chasing some crooks, and he only wakes up to find himself in an alternate existence that sees his alter ego, Bruce Wayne, lead a fulfilled life with family and fiancée, Selena Kyle. And if you don't know who Selena Kyle is, that's a Catwoman. But in this particular episode, Catwoman does not have a criminal record. She's not the bad chick that she's known to be. She's not the criminal slash anti-heroine. She's simply just Selena Kyle, a good standing chick, good citizen. But Bruce Wayne's inability to live the dream reveals his mind to be in the thrall of the Mad Hatter. Okay, just to give over some historical trivia, this particular voice actor who plays Jervis Tetch, the Mad Hatter, is played by Roddy McDowall from Planet of the Apes fame. He played Cornelius in the first and third film, as well as Caesar, his son, in the fourth and fifth film of the series. He also played Galen on the Planet of the Apes television series, which is currently out of print as of this video. Okay, so I'm basically doing a Batman marathon because we got the Batman coming out this weekend. I can't wait to see it. So basically, I just ran across this again and saw some things. I'm going to bring out some scriptures and hopefully it's edifying. So basically, what this episode made me think about was being the fact that the Mad Hatter had Batman in this particular dream world. It made me think of Esau's plan with this metaverse. And he's also going to have the inability to fulfill his dream, which is the New World Order, and establishing this mark of the beast. Because basically, he's going to end up being a memory himself. And the 20th chapter of Job basically deals with the doom and disappearance of Esau the wicked, aka the so-called white man. Because basically his destiny is going to be destruction, just total annihilation, total extermination. When you read Job chapter 20, verse 8, it reads, "He shall fly away as a dream." That he's talking about Esau, all right? "And shall not be found," because there's going to be a particular time where he's not going to be found on the planet Earth, just only in our memory, and it's going to be a distant memory. Reading on, "Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night." So just as like a night terror or a dream or a nightmare, as soon as you wake up, in some cases you may forget most of the dream, but while you're actually within it, it's going to be that dream or the nightmare or night terror, or I should say. Okay, and solely as we get deeper into the kingdom, more time goes by, it's going to be something that we just totally forget about. It's going to be such a distant memory. Okay, and the Most High will be the one that will awaken. Not saying that he needs sleep, but the Most High of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, can't stand this devil's idea of his particular system. Okay, and when you read Psalms, the 73rd chapter, starting at the 20th verse, it reads, "As a dream, when one awaketh, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image." And basically, when it says that when thou awakest, when he basically sends his son, Yahushai, to establish his reign on the planet Earth and establish his rulership, as well as the elect getting the joint inheritance and becoming rulers himself. Now, back to this episode of Batman the Animated Series, Perchance a Dream. This particular mind-controlling device that the Mad Hatter used on Batman, he had him underneath a spell and had him believing in a life that he was currently not living in. I mean, everything was just too good to be true. And he was able to discern that rather quickly, because if you know the character Batman, he's witnessed his parents being murdered in front of him. He's living in this depressed city, Gotham City. And his true nature, while being the playboy, Bruce Wayne, is the facade. His real actual character, how he acts, is as a Batman. And you rarely see Batman happy or joking around. And how would you feel after witnessing your parents gunned down at a young age? But that's another reason why our people, you blacks, Native Americans, Latinos, which are the true Israelites, should be in this broken and contrite spirit. Because we've experienced what this character has experienced a millionfold. Okay. When you read the Book of Ecclesiastes, starting at the 2nd chapter, 17th verse, Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 17, it reads, "Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me. For all is vanity and vexation of spirit." Okay, this whole world, the current system, is a total vexation of the spirit. Okay, and we can just do a list of all the things that's currently going on in this world, just with our people, with this oppressor that's over us, with his cohorts or his other nations that are confederate, the heathen. When you read Psalms 83rd chapter, they've all been confederate against thee. It's a total vexation of the spirit. It's total grievous. Okay, but back to this episode. In order for Batman to get out of this dream program, he had to basically commit suicide. No, not telling anyone to do that. I'm not saying that. Izar's not telling anyone to commit suicide, but that's basically how he had to get out of the dream. He had to basically see that his that particular life wasn't worth it, and he saw certain things that were just too good. His parents were alive. He was marrying Selena Kyle. He was still rich too. He still had all his wealth, and even his whole character and countenance just changed. I mean, he was all happy-go-lucky as Bruce Wayne, and it just wasn't the usual character you used to. All right, he wasn't the Dark Knight. All right, but in the Book of Job, chapter 7, this particular chapter is titled "Life Seems Futile," and starting at Job 7, verse 15, it reads, "So that my soul chooseth strangling and death rather than my life." Verse 16, "I loathe it, I would not live alway. Let me alone, for my days are vanity." Okay, so just like the Most High despises the system, this is we were reading in Psalms chapter 73, verse 20. He also despises the future system, which is the New World Order. And you should despise this life as well, you blacks, Native Americans, Latinos. I mean, you've been basically fed a lie, and 2/3 of you aren't going to wake up, but that's just the Most High's plan for you not to wake up out of this particular nightmare, or this night terror, I should say. But the elect, we're striving to be perfect, the hopeful elect. Hopefully I'm of that number. And even Job felt as though he was perfect as well, because he was doing everything that he was commanded to do. And that's why he was tested by the Most High via Satan to go through these particular trials. When you read Job chapter 9, verse 21, it reads, "Though I were perfect, yet would I not know my soul. I would despise my life." Okay, it's kind of hard to see the good out of a lot of things that are going on in this world, because we desire the kingdom. Okay, and we desire Yahweh Shai, the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, to return to set up that kingdom. All right, because his whole death was purposed to make sure that the elect got this truth. Okay. And even Yahushua spoke of this being the fact that you have to be a follower of Yahushua. And that's the particular cost of discipleship, being his disciple. When you read it, Luke chapter 14, starting at verse 26, Luke 14, verse 26, it reads, "If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea," here's the point, "and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple." Okay? And who wants a life where you're not even living eternally? All right? Imagine living eternally and your kids are living as well, and you don't got to worry about death and sickness and hardship. You're not going to get it on this side. Not in Esau's kingdom. Not in this fourth kingdom that we're living in, the so-called Holy Roman Empire. You're not going to live it. You're not going to live it the way you want to. As Tupac wrote, or had that song called "This Ain't Living." All right, and look at the wealth he had. And all the fame that he had, and women and everything. It wasn't living. But Yahushua reiterated this again in John chapter 12, verse 25. John chapter 12, verse 25, and it reads, "He that loveth his life shall lose it." Okay, so a lot of people on this side is going to want to keep this life, especially when the MOTB is established, especially when the only option that you have to continue in this life is to take that mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. Okay. Reading on, "And he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal." See? Let me read that again. "And he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal." Okay. So it doesn't matter what kind of treat that's dangling in front of you towards these end times, whether or not you have food or whether you have any raiment, because the Most High sent his Son to tell us that we didn't have to worry about these things because it would be given unto us. Okay, I'm just going to end it on this. I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. Read the Book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 11. It reads, "And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they love not their lives unto the death." Okay, so for the elect, they're not going to choose to take that mark of the beast. They're not going to choose to be incorporated into this new world order system. Okay, and they're not going to want to continue their lives because this, like we were reading earlier, this is a whole total vexation of spirit, and this world is grievous unto the elect, and it's grievous unto me as well. Hopefully, I'm of that number. Well, just wanted to share that. Just like I said, just after watching this episode, I'm probably going to have a part 3 coming up soon. Because this Mad Hatter is something. That's why I say that Esau's the Mad Hatter. Because that's what he's fed to the blacks, Native Americans, Latinos. This particular so-called American dream. And really it's an American nightmare or an American night terror. Okay, but pretty soon with everything that's going on, we're going to go into these next couple stages of, or the beginning stages of World War III, but a couple things have to happen first, of course. The famine of the word, famine, war in the Middle East, and of course the mark of the beast and establishment of the New World Order. But he's not going to be successful. Okay, but you might want to check out this episode if anyone has, I'm not sure what platform this is on. I have it on DVD and Blu-ray. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, who gives me the strength in the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.